it came from, there was an original movie, The Trip, which was an excellent movie by Tommy Wirkola. And then Brian and I were brought on to sort of adapt the script for the American remake, and we had a great time doing it. It was so much solid and original material to work with, and then we got to like pour our sense of humor into it, and dump every relationship fight we've ever had into certain lines of the script. And yeah, and just we changed some characters, we changed some motivations here and there, but really we kept the structure intact.
And then Jorma came on to direct, and often you just sort of give your script over as writers, but Jorma comes from comedy, he's super collaborative, so the writing process sort of continued with him until we actually started shooting, and kind of into shooting a little bit, which is great. I mean, that's good comedy writers, I think, are always trying to like beat the last joke, and so it's like, it was just a process of trying to refine and find the best thing, and it was really great.
Well, and with any movie too, obviously things are going to change with cast and putting the voices to the characters, and obviously like with this all-star cast, two of them right back here, but it was wonderful to be able to like change things as we went to suit the cast that we had.
And what excited you about this? It seemed like, as far as features go, you got to work in a different kind of sandbox.
That was part of my reasoning for wanting to get involved, was definitely to be able to do something different. This movie is so many different tones, and I've been saying that it's a lot of needles to thread. Basically, it's almost like a suspense drama in the beginning, and then it becomes a home invasion movie, and then it becomes an action movie sort of thing. So it's a lot of different tones to hit, and there's comedy, and like we're pushing the comedy as far as we can. We obviously all come from comedy, but like the comedy is coming out of a very serious, real situation as best you can. Like obviously that's also can get pushed as well. There's a lot of intense violence in this movie, but we really we're all on the same page with wanting to nail those tones. And so for me, it was just could I direct something that, loving the original movie, that I liked as much as the original? And I think that we've, I don't want to say enhanced, because they're totally different movies in many ways, sort of thing. But that, and that comes from cast, that comes from these guys writing, that comes from all of the different things that we're adding, sort of thing. But it's I think it's an honoring of the original movie, not losing the teeth of I think American remakes can sometimes be a little less aggressive than the originals, and I think that we maintained what Tommy brought to the original while bringing our own vibe to it. So I feel very proud of it.
For you two, what were the first impressions of the script, and what got you excited about the project?
Well, I got excited. Jorma sent me a text at 3 a.m. What are you doing in October? And I'm like, where am I going? Because I know we're going overseas. And so the answer was obviously yes. And next thing I know, I'm standing in a river with Juliette Lewis on my back, and trying not to dump her.
Well, I think that the genre was explained to me by Jorma as an action comedy, which isn't something that I do very often. I used to do one or the other. So I like the idea of the hybrid notion of it, and also the enthusiasm and the openness and the curiosity that in conversations that I had in meetings with Jorma, I signed on. Sure, action comedy.
So I convinced you to do it.
You convinced me to do it. Yes.
So I'll answer your answer a little bit better. So when I did read the script, and this is a character that I've kind of played a bunch of times before, but you watch a movie, I've never played this character before.
We did a lot of stunt rehearsals with 87 North, who was on this movie, and obviously they are incredibly good at what they do. Our stunt coordinator, Chan, was amazing, and his guys. And so it was a really fun process for me, because obviously I haven't done action quite to this extent, and certainly not handheld action, which turned out to be easier to me in many ways, honestly, because you get really intense, cool-looking stuff very quickly. And those guys were amazing. They're really, really good partners. But it was also just really fun to blend, I think, my more comedic sensibility and really wanting to make sure that character was throughout fight sequences, because I can never really get behind fight sequences for the sake of fight sequences. And I think that we did a really good job with trying to have story elements always like going through and character stuff being what drives the comedy through action.
How did you end up shooting in Finland in winter?
It was cheaper. No, we ended up shooting in Finland primarily because we were looking at other locations and we needed a cabin on a lake, and Finland is nothing but cabins on lakes. It's like 17,000 lakes, and like there is like your pick of the litter of just amazing. And we found this like really this full of character cabin. That, like, weirdly, the cabins in Finland don't have like running plumbing a lot of the time, so that was a slight issue for bathrooms. But no, like it was a really picturesque, beautiful location, and then we got really lucky with weather. There's snow in the movie. There's all kinds of things that really make it wonderfully cinematic.
How often did you sauna on this movie?
Every day. Every single day, I would go to the sauna with our producer guy, and then you go into like a freezing cold lake every night. So,
Yeah, you'd get in the lake and you would feel your body begin to die, and you're like, oh, if I don't get out of here, I will die. And the same
as
as
you die the other way. It's
Yeah.
just it seems insane to do, but once you get out of it, it's just like the calmest sleep you've ever had that night. It's the best.
I can remember when we first showed up on set, they were filming one of the final scenes, and it was seeing Jason Segel in the bloody makeup was incredible because it looked like they had killed Jason Segel, and like I was like, whoever's done this makeup is incredible.
Oh, they were like, our special effects makeup team was unbelievable. Like, and also with the continuity, there's so much continuity that you have to like get with like this injury causes this, like whatever. And but one of my memories that would like there, in any movie, there's going to be some glitch that's going to happen on the day. We had a stunt that was going to be a car whipping into somebody, and it wasn't working because I chosen a car where the spoiler was so low it was getting ripped off as it was trying to do the skid. And so instead of that, on the day, we had to be like, hey, do you mind getting hit frontal on a car? It was going to be all CG, but like to our stunt guy, like, and then he had to get hit 7 times, I think. And you're like, hey, sorry, buddy. But that's filmmaking.
Brian and I wrote this adaptation, and then immediately after that went into production directing an original script we wrote called Pizza Movie. That is a much crazier, if you can believe it, movie. There's the laws of reality in that one don't apply.
Yeah, this is taming us down to write this
Yeah.
one, which was nice. But yeah, that premiered last night, so we're just sort of like trying to conquer this weekend while staying intact.
The big thing I feel like we learned is Jorma was in Finland talking to us at 1 a.m. or whatever with the time difference about script changes we needed to make because of production needs. And we would be like, oh no, we have to lose that. I wonder why we have to lose that. And then when directing our own movie, we were like, and now we know
Because
why.
you have to lose
Because
everything.
you have to
Directing
lose-
is just pivoting over and over again when your heart breaks because you can't do something. I think you tried to warn us about it, and we were like, we'll be fine. But then it's like really seeing it in action is like,
Directing to me is everyone starts at a starting line with any movie. All the department heads, everybody in the cast and crew. And as a director, you're shaping relatively where you want the movie to go. But the sort of the joy of the collaborative process of it is that there's these things where it didn't go quite where you thought it was going to go, whether it's the margins that you can't do something because of budgetary reasons, and then you have to come up with a solve that is even better, or it's at least hopefully lateral sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you've all created something together, and things that you didn't know were going to happen. And so there's so many moments that I have in this movie of like, I don't want to ruin anything. You can bleep this part, but like Jason dropping a bag of fingers on the ground, and like as an improv, and like that's never would have thought that would happen, and it's fucking hilarious. So yeah.